Yeah. So here you're asking that like what if it is not a table, right? So let me take
Yes.
one of the file. I'll copy paste. Some sheet name I rename, workbook name I rename. So this example already we are done, but this is a table. As it is a table, you'll see the table design here,
Yeah.
right? So what I do is I'll make it as a normal range, convert to range, click OK. Yes. Now it is not a table at all. That is the reason the table design is not showing, correct? By
Yeah.
seeing it, not say that it is a, I mean, by seeing the formatting, you should not say that this is a table. No, it is not. If you want, I'll change the formatting also. It's all in or whatever. Something like this we have. I'll save this workbook. And the sheet name is input. You see this? Input.
Yeah.
Close this. Now I can go to this Power BI, new Power BI report where we want to get the data from Excel. We need to give the path. Here, this is a workbook name. I'll click on open. It will show the sheet name. This is another laptop, little slow it is. Yeah, now you see this. This is the sheet name. If you have the multiple sheets, it will have shown this. Once I click on it, it's showing the same data here, correct?
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
if you observe, like if it is a table, it would have taken the table name as a header, but here it is taking as a column one, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. Correct.
So now we know, like, I mean, how to load, like, we need to enable the box, click on this transform data. Steps are same. See, whether it is Excel or Access or SQL, it can be any application. Once you connect the data, doing the steps are same. Once it is comes to Power Query, steps are same. This home ribbon,
Okay.
transform, all these things are here. That ribbons. Got it right?
Yeah. Got it. One more thing, Karthik. Suppose if you have multiple sheets,
Uh
and
huh.
what if you have multiple sheet,
Uh huh.
and if we are having a sheet name at the end, right? I want that name as in respect to data in one more column. In that column,
Mm-hmm.
it has mentioned the sheet name. Is it possible?
Yes, it is possible. Yes, it is possible.
Okay.
I'll be showing like instead of sheet, I'll show you with the workbooks itself. Let's say we have
Okay.
around 50 workbooks. All the
Okay.
50 workbooks I need to consolidate with the
Okay.
workbook name as well. So I'll be showing you how to do that.
Okay.
In today's class, we'll be discussing it. Okay.
Okay. Workbook name along with sheet name also we can get it right in one column.
Yes, yes, yes. Some yum query we need to write. Yes, we can get it.
Okay. Okay. All right. Karthik, thank you.
Okay. So I'll close this workbook. I'm not loading this Power Query without saving.
So Karthik, I'm Ashwin here.
Yeah, sure.
So how about the unstructured data, like the data stored in the text format?
Text format also, yes, you can get the data which is text formatted, like text files, CSV files. See, if it is following some unstructured in the proper way, proper way in the sense like it is following some pattern, then definitely we can format it. Definitely we can clean it with the options which are available in the Power Query.
Like we need to use any delimiters there?
We have the many delimiters we can use it. What are the delimiter we have? The like in the text file you may have the delimiter as a comma, space. Yeah. It can be anything, right? So
yes.
Those actually by default it will identify if it is if Power Query identify wrongly, then we can mention that this is a delimiter.
Okay, fine.
I
clicked on apply changes instead of discard changes. That's fine. So apply changes in the sense like what are the Power Query changes you have done, that those changes are loading into Power BI. That sheet name is input, right? That name itself it is taking as a that query name.
Karthik.
Now.
Yeah, hi Karthik.
Yeah, hi. Who's that?
I'm Praveen Kumar here.
Yeah, Praveen.
Like we are transforming and loading the data. Suppose we are directly loading the data, can we do a transform after loading data? This transform
Directly means what?
Like when we are extracting, when we are taking a data from Excel, we have option transform data and load data.
Correct.
If you're directly loading a data.
Oh, okay.
Can we
you
do
loaded the data, like after that, can we transform? Is that your question?
Yes.
Yes, definitely it can be. See, whenever you connect with any application, it will gives you option like a load, transform data, cancel, right? So every time we are clicking on the transform data, but sometimes if you want, you can load the data so that directly it will load it to Power BI. Correct. So later you realize that, hey, I need to do some transformation. We need to add some column. We need to remove the duplicates. We need to trim the data, whatever it is, that can be definitely done. I'll be showing in one of the examples in today's class. I'll be showing it. Okay.
Sure. Thank you.
See this here. I'm good. Not open queries. This is done. I'll be talking about something called unpivot data. Let's get open this. This one last time. Yeah. Here you have some data like this. All this data. Some people are maintaining the data like this. All the products are here, and wherever this product getting sold, like that medium, like Amazon, Flipkart, or Paytm, Geo, it can be anywhere, like it is getting sold. All that information is here. Actually, this is not proper way of maintaining the data. Looks like it is neatly arranged and everything is fine for visibility. But however, if anytime if you want to visualize the data, if you want to summarize the data or analyze the data should be something like this. It should be in the tabular format. What I mean by tabular format, each category should be in the one column. For example, all the product or company name, whatever it is, all the products should be in one column. Actually, that all the products are in the one column, or whether you call it product or company name, which are in the one column, that is fine. Whereas these products are getting sold in the Flipkart, Amazon, Snapdeal, and so on. That is not in a column, which are in the multiple columns. Nothing but in row wise, horizontal it is maintained, but not the in a column wise. It should be something like this. vendor name, or seller name, whatever it is, and what is the sales amount. So I need to maintain the data in this format. So if it is in this format, you can, while you're visualizing, if you want, you can pivot the data like this, but data should be in this format. You should maintain this format. If you want to transform this data as in this format, like all the products should be here, then vendor name, sales amount, which will be difficult task. Like you see this, like how it will be. I'll take a copy of it. I'll paste it here. I pasted here. Now you see this, like then these are the vendor names, right? I'll take a copy. I'll go here, paste special values, transpose. See, if you're aware in Excel, like this is what Excel users will do, and this Nokia, they'll drag it down. And later, these are the amounts. I'll take a copy of it. Again, come back here, paste special values, transpose, nothing but which is in vertical, horizontal. We are transforming to vertical. That's what it means. Click OK. All the values are here. Only for the one company, Nokia were done. Now we need to do for the Samsung. So this is a really tedious task. Like we don't want to do this way. So we'll do this and drag it down, and Samsung related all the numbers we need to copy. Instead of copying to Samsung, by mistake I copied that all that iPhone, and I may do this space special here. So because of this manual work, this kind of errors can occur. So this is a time consuming one. Right now we are the only 10 records here, but in future you may have the thousands of records here that cannot be done in this manner, in this method. So instead of that, let's take the Power Query help and get this done very quickly, very soon. Yeah. So this is again table. So as it is a table, table has a name called table one. If you want to give some other name, yes, you can give it. Let it be table one. So I'll close this workbook. I'll go to our Power Query. A second. I'll delete, which was some example I was giving. I deleted. Nothing is here now. Yeah. So I'll get data from Excel, and there is a workbook called unpivot data. I'll take that workbook, connecting to it. Yeah. As we know, like it will show the table and also sheet name. So whenever it is a table, take the table. I told you why. Like if you take this sheet, like look like the data is the same. If it is table one, can you see this? Like it is showing the headers properly, and also there is no null blanks and all. Whereas for the source data, the sheet name, it is showing some blanks here. And if I go right side, can you see this? After deals, there is a column 7, column 8, some product 1, vendor name, sales amount. Oh, this is the one which we just now created. This is how the format should be, right? That also it is taking as a source data. Entire sheet data it is giving it. No, we want to take this table data, and I'll select this checkbox. Instead of transform data, you can also click on the load, but I always prefer to click on the transform data. But someone was asking, right, like what will happen if I click on the load? Let me click on the load. Nothing will happen. Like it will load the data to Power BI. It is getting load. is loading. You see this load. Yeah, 9 rows loaded. This laptop is little slow, so but for loading 10 records, it won't take this much time. Yeah, if you want, you can go to this data view and you can see the data here. This is what the data, right? But we have not done the transformation part. We want to do like all the products should be in one column and the vendor name should be another column and sales amount should be third column. Only 3 columns it should be. So what I'm going to do is now I'll do the transformation part. In the home ribbon, I'll go and there is a option called transform data, and click on the transform data again. Nothing but once you click on the transform data, it will take you to the Power Query editor. Can you see that on hover of it, it is clearly showing that message, use the Power Query editor to connect, prepare and transform data. Let me click on this. It will open the Power Query editor. In the Power Query editor, again, you can do like a, see this backside, like you see the Power BI desktop, where here is a Power BI editor. Now, if you want, you can maximize this. But behind there is a Power BI desktop is there. Within the Power BI desktop, this Power Query is part of it. If you want to change this name, yes, you can change it. I'll rename as a QRY unpivot data, something like this. Now, check out this, how easy it is. I'm selecting this product column. Product column is in the proper way. Nothing but each category should be in one column. Yes, it is in the one column. Whereas this Flipkart, Amazon, Snapdeal, all these are the vendor names that should not be in the different column. Although all these names should be in the one column itself, and this value should be beside to it, right? So these values 2500, 4500, and so on. So what I'm going to do is select this product column, select the product column, right click, there is an option called unpivot other columns. Unpivot other columns. I click on this unpivot other columns. Nothing but except the product, all other columns will be unpivoted. Nothing but the data which is showing, the view it is showing, it is in the pivoted data, but we are unpivoting. Unpivot nothing but that. What do you say that? It is in the tabular format. Now you see this. All the products are in one column and it is renamed as something called attribute. Yes, you can rename this name as a vendor name or whatever the name you want to give, or seller name, and the sales amount. Here now see this Nokia, Flipkart sales is 2500, Nokia, Amazon sales is 4500. All that Nokia is done, then Samsung, then iPhone, Micromax, and so on. This is how the transformation is done real quick. Just see this. Before to this transformation, this is how data is, but once I click on the unpivot other columns, it is done this way. This can be done another way also. I'll show you once again. I'll close the steps. This is how our data is. What I had done earlier, I selected this column, right click, unpivot other columns I had done, right? Unpivot other columns. Apart from that, there is an option called unpivot columns also there. What is that unpivot columns? For example, I want to unpivot this columns, right? So reverse, you can select all these columns. You can select all these columns, right click. There is an option called unpivot columns. Once I click on this unpivot columns, it is showing the same answer. The products I did not select, don't select that because that is in the proper method. You should not do any transformation for that. So now it is showing this correctly. So multiple ways it can be done. So we are done this way. Now, if you want, you can rename this. So this changes we want to apply, close and apply. Is this clear to all? It is going to load. It is showing the old one itself. Once it is loaded, okay, great. Now you tell me, um, I want to see in this visualization the product name and the sales amount. That's it. I want to see a table, product wise sales. Nothing but Nokia overall sales is how much, Samsung overall sales is how much, and so on. Like this, that summarization, I want to see it. So what do you do? I want a table. In this visualization, on hover of it, you can see the names. Like just hover here, you see the table. This is a cross table, like just like a pivot table matrix. It is, we call it here matrix. So I'll click on the table. I want table. Once I click on table, blank table will show here. I clicked on it. Yeah, here is a table. So now what we are going to do,
Can drag and drop those fields, required fields like product and sales.
you can do drag and drop. Otherwise, you can even just select
Select.
that checkbox. Once you select this checkbox called product, all the unique products it should show here. You see that iPhone, Micromax, Nokia, and so on, and vendor sales amount. Here is the sales amount. I'll select this sales amount. iPhone total sales is this, Micromax this, Nokia, and so on. This is a grand total. See, this size, if it is a less, you can increase the font size, you can change the background color. This alternative colors are something ash, right? So that the color can be changed. All this formatting changes you can apply in the format. There are many options will be available. So you see this general, these are the categories in that you can go and you can change it, whatever you want to do. The column headers right now, this is a color, right? Like you can change that to some other color, background color, text color, all this you can do. The background color change, the text color I'll change it to white. So these are the just formatting changes that you can do it anytime. It's my bad. After selecting it by mistakenly, I clicked on it. This field map. So I will go back to this table again. Yeah, I'll select this blank one. I can delete. So that is about the unpivot data. Okay. Yeah, I'll be showing here state-wise raw data I have. If you see, there are give me a second. Yeah. If you see here, there are 45 states related information. All these US states related state-wise data we have. Yeah, all the cities, like all the 50 states, 45 states only right now we have information. How the data inside of it, check it out. Yeah, here we have the customer ID, name prefix, first name, middle name, last name, all this mail ID, date of birth, many information we have, different columns, order date, ship date, how many number of units sold, what is the price for it, and what is the total revenue. So this is what the information we have for this city. Like there are 41 records we have for this state. Whereas if I go to some other same method, if I open it, headers are same and the records will vary. Number of records may not be the 40 here, it may be 60 or what are the number. So you see that same number of columns. So all these files I need to consolidate into one. I need to consolidate it into one so that I'll get to know that what it is. I mean, what is that overall sales throughout the all the states. Okay. So if I want to do this manually, it will take time. Consolidating this workbooks into one, it will take time. Whereas if you know the VBA macros, you need to write some coding. After writing the coding, like once you click on that button, that coding will execute and it will consolidate. So writing coding for everyone, it is not a cakewalk. Like you need to spend some time. You need to learn the variables. You need to learn the loops. Many things you need to know. Then only you'll be able to write that codes. But for business analysts, but people who want to take the decisions, they may not aware about the coding and all. They know about the business. They know how to run it. They want to analyze the data. So in Power Query, we have the option without writing any coding. You can consolidate all the workbooks in a folder. You can consolidate real quick. How to do that? I'll show you now. So see this. I'll go to get data. We want to get data from Excel, but however, I don't give the Excel because that is not one Excel file. Multiple Excel files we want to what do you say, like we want to append. Correct. If you remember in the last class, I was showing you how to append 3 sheets of data, 3 workbooks of data, right? So here we have the 45 or 50. So which I don't want to do, connect one Excel file and connect the second file, then third, and all that 50, then merge all that 15 to one. That is a one way of doing, but that is a, I mean, lengthy way. Instead of doing that way, it can be done another way. So that way I'm showing you now. So I'll click on this more. Yeah. Here there is option called folder. We want to get data from folder. I click on this folder, click on connect. Where is your folder path? It is asking. If you have the in clipboard, if you copy that path, you can paste it here. Otherwise, you can browse. You can tell that it is in your desktop. Then this is a folder, state-wise raw data. I click OK. Now click OK. If you want, you can go here. This is the path, right? This path you can take a copy. You can paste it. That way also fine. It is connecting to that folder. Yes, this is the path. See users, PC, desktop, Power BI files, state-wise raw data in this folder. These are the files we have. You see this? This is something binary it is calling that contained binary it is saying. Later it is showing the name nothing but workbook name. ak.xlsx, al.xlsx, all xlsx files there. So all the 50 file names or 45 file names it is showing. Then extension, date access, date modified, some that file related properties it is showing. Okay, so what exactly we need to do is, again, don't click on the combine or load, click on the transform data. Once I click on transform data, once I click on it, now you see this. It is showing this contain. Same, what are the data I was showing you? Same thing it is showing here. But where is the data in it? Um, Actually, all the data will be sitting in the binary one that contained. The data will be contained in this binary one. So this is the workbook name. This is a extension name. Let's assume, luckily this time in that folder, all are XLSX files. Let's say in that folder, you may have the PDF file, you may have some text files, you may have some access file. So you don't want to take any of them. You want to take only XLSX files. What do? You apply the filter. Right now, if I click on the drop down, you see only XLSX, fine. But in future, like you may by mistakenly you may have in that folder some other category of files also that you don't want to consolidate. Correct. So what I exactly I'll do is, first of all, I'll right click, transform, transform to, let's say, lower uppercase. It's up to you whether you do lowercase or uppercase. Actually, if you see, all of them are already in lowercase, but sometimes that extension may show some of them are uppercase also. So for better side, like for, because Power Query is a case sensitive, so we are doing it all lowercase. Transform data lowercase. So it is showing, if any case, if any one of them in uppercase also, it will convert to lowercase. Then you go here and text filters, which is equal to dot xlsx. You see, we are just applying the filter dot xlsx. Once I click OK, nothing but we are saying that we want to take only xlsx files we want to consolidate. That's what it means. Click OK. Right now, you don't find any change, like there are 45 rows, nothing but 45 files we have. That's what it is showing. But just imagine, in between earlier while loading, if there's any PDF file, it has shown the PDF. After applying the filter which you applied, it will remove that. It will remove that PDF files or any other files. Only it will show that XLSX files. That's fine. Now what I do is, I'll take this and this columns. I'll select it. Right click, remove other columns. Remove other columns. Nothing but except these two selected columns, all other columns will be get removed. Remove other columns. Will get removed. No problem. There is a double down arrow, right? Let me click on this and see that what is going to happen. Earlier, I think in the some of the other example, like I was showing that double down arrow one. Okay. Oh, can you see this? It is showing only AK. If you remember, like if you see this binary AK, it is showing the data for the only that AK, that is a workbook name. That data only it is showing. It is not showing all other files. It is showing only that first file only. No, I don't want this. Some small M query you need to write so that you'll get all the data. I'll quickly do it one more time. You understand, like if you click on the double down arrow, it will show only one file. We want to consolidate all that files. So small formula instead of M query, I'll call it as a formula for your better understanding. So one small formula we need to write so that you can consolidate quickly. See this now, get data, more, we need to select the folder once the pop-up box comes. Yeah, here is a folder, connect. I need to give the path. This is the path. I'll take a copy of this path by clicking at top here address bar, take a copy, Control C, go back here and paste it, Control V. This is also a way, right? Earlier I was clicking browse, click OK. Click on transform data. I select only these two columns. This time I know that there is no other file, so that is the reason I'm not doing any filter and all. For better side, if you want, you can do it, but as of now I'm not doing. Right click, remove other columns, except these two columns, it is removed all of them. That's fine. Now I'll add a new column. I'll go to this add column. I don't click on this double arrow, down arrow. So I'll click on this add column, where in the add column there is a custom column, new column we are going to add. In that new column we'll write the formula. Once I click on this custom column, it will ask you like what is a new column name you want to give. By default it is given as a custom, it is given, but instead of that I'll write something called get data. I'll write here the formula, like we are trying to get the data from the Excel. Agree? So that is the reason I'm using the formula called excel.workbook. Excel.workbook. I'll write once again EXEL. Can you see this? Like it is showing this. If I click on it, it is showing that Excel.workbook. Bracket start. In this Excel.workbook, that binary workbook as binary, whichever is the binary one. If you remember, I was showing you in the content we are the binary one, right? All the data will be in that. So what I'm going to do is I'll select this contained, double click on it, bracket close, and click OK. If you did not have any syntax errors, no syntax errors have been detected, it says. And remember, whenever you're writing the Power Query formulas, it is a case sensitive. You need to write in this format only. If you write in the lowercase or uppercase, all, then it won't, as it is a case sensitive, it won't work. Okay, Excel.workbook. E should be capital and W also should be capital, and remaining all small. Click OK. We are adding a new column, right? The new column name we given as a get data something. So same get data, it is giving there as a new name, new column name. Here is a table. Once I click on the table, you can see that AK table, AK something it is showing. Here you see that two side arrows. You click on this two side arrows. My original column name as prefix, I told you like not required this checkbox. Unselect this. I click OK here. Before I click OK, you see this name, data, item, kind, hidden, some properties of the tables it is. Once I click OK, what is going to happen? See this. Yeah, now you see this. You concentrate only on the data, all other different properties of the table. So if I click on that any of the table related data it is showing here, like all that AK related, another table you click it, another data set it will shows. This is what we want, not anything else. So what we do is we'll keep only this data column, and also you want to have that workbook name, right? So that is the reason that workbook name instead of with the .xlsx we have already this name here, right? So what I do, I'll keep these two columns and remove all other columns. Right click, remove other columns, remove other columns. One last time, you expand this now. This is an expanding button, right? Like expand. It is showing that column 1, 2, 3. There are a couple of columns in each of the workbook. So that's what it is showing. List may be incomplete. It may not showing that complete columns. If you want, you can load more and see that all the column names. I'll go down. Yeah, up to 24 columns we have. That's what it is showing. That's fine. Click OK. Now, once you click OK, it will showing all the data now. Okay. You see this customer ID, name prefix, first name, middle name, all these names. So it should not be, this should not be the headers. This column 1, column 2 should not be the headers. This should be, the row 1 should be the headers. So what we do here, we'll go, I'll be make use first row as a headers. It is doing the change. Now this should not be AK, like I'll call it as a workbook name. Just for your information, I'll click on the drop down. Can you see this? All the workbook names, AK, AL, AR, all these are workbook names. It's showing only few. If you want to see all of them, load more. You can see all of them. 45 workbook names it will shows. Whichever you want, you can see it. But right now it is consolidated all that 45 and given that output like this. You can scroll down. You have the more rows. Okay. So this is how you can consolidate quickly using the Power Query. No coding required, only one small formula written, all other are like small changes. You can see all these columns. Oh, but one problem I see here, can you see this order date, ship date, unit sold? It is repeated again. It should not be like this, correct? I mean, that header should not be repeated. For example, if I go to this customer, if I go to this workbook name, it is repeated many places that AK. Instead of seeing here, I guess you can see it clearly here. I'll go here. I click on this. Somewhere you'll find the customer ID. Multiple times it is repeated. What is that name? Can you see this? Customer ID is also part of it. Once I click OK, you can see that multiple times it will repeat it. Just for your information, I'll show you. there are so many times it is repeated, correct? These headers. So it should not be like this. 44 times it is repeated, right? And header is 1, total 45 times. Only one time it should be, not that remaining 44 times. So what we need to do, how to get rid of this? First of all, I'll make it normal, like I'll select all. I click OK. Yeah, what do you do, guys? How to get remove that headers which are in between? You see this, here it is. Headers are repeated. Multiple times it is repeated. So if you want to remove that, what do you do? Filter and delete rows. Yeah, just applying the filter is enough. I'll go here. What is the name of it? I'll take that name. CUST customer ID. You can apply the filter either on the customer ID or name prefix or first name or anything, you can take it. So but not the workbook name one, because there also we have the AK. I'll go here. Text filters, which is, what do you write? Like equal to, not equal to, what do you write? Equal, if you write equal to and customer ID, it will show only customer ID record. Just now we saw that, like instead of that, does not equal customer ID. You go here, you write customer ID and click OK. Once I click OK, if I apply properly, earlier, it is not removed this. See this? It's not gone. Still it is showing the same thing. Why? Can anyone figure it out that? Yeah, it is a case sensitive. If you observe something, customer ID, C capital, remaining all lower, and ID is fully capital, like I and D, both of them. But I think I have written I as a capital and D as a lower. That is the reason. So this kind of problems will occur. So I can take a copy from here, Control C. I can go here. Text filters does not equal. The previous steps I can, otherwise from here also we can do it, right? So I can go here. Sorry, 1 second. Like here also some filter applied. Unnecessary steps we need to remove. Rename columns. Now here it apply. Text filters does not equal. I'll paste it this. No, there are no spelling mistakes. Click OK. Now you don't see any headers at all. Correct? You go down, you don't see it. So I'll go to home ribbon, close and apply. Otherwise, just apply, nothing but that query will be here itself. So these are fine. Right now, some 45 states we have, but what if I added few more states in the same folder? Do I need to do all the steps once again? Not exactly. Just you need to copy paste. Let's say my workbooks are the new workbooks. In this new folder I have, see this, some five I have. I'll take a copy all this files, close, and wherever my state-wise raw data, right now it is having the 45 items. I'll paste it, this 5 items also, Control V. You see that it is pasted this 5 items now. So total it is a 50 items we have in this folder. Close it. What I do now, we want to refresh this Power Query so that all the steps will be automatically applied Earlier it was a 45 files. Now it will be 50 files. Let it be. So you can click on this refresh. Once I click on the refresh, you should be able to find that newly added also. What are the newly added? Instead of going from here to going down, I can click this drop down, load more. Go down. Just now added this last file, right? VTWA and so on, Washington and all. So that's what it is added. So you count it, it will be overall 50 files. Is this clear to all? So here it is showing the
Yes.
work name and all other data. Yeah. Okay, I'll be uploading this all the 50 files in your raw data folder, that Google Drive. So do practice. Similar fashion, if you have the in one workbook multiple sheets also, you give it try. Like take some sample data where you have some 5 sheets or 10 sheets, same pattern. If you want to consolidate how to do that, like give it try today. And tomorrow session, if you did not get it, I'll show you. And tomorrow we'll be talking about the data modeling and few other techniques. And in Power Query, like first half an hour, I'll discuss more other options in the Power Query. Then we'll get into the data modeling. Okay, that's it for today. Any questions? Let me know.